BJ Baker is serving it to you raw and uncut.
Open your mouth, give you a taste.
Mm-hmm. Well. Thank you, Gio. Well. But let's get into Russell Simmons. We'll continue with Russell Simmons here, okay? We already talked about his daughter, Aoki. We already know what that's about. I already said it. That's about access. She needs access to places to get her, a job. And what do you do when you want access to a job? You hook up with an old man. This is the way the business works. This is why they have yachting, where they have, young girls, actresses maybe that are not necessarily making it, models that are not necessarily getting booked. They do yachting. So they end up going on these yachts where they meet men that will either, one, take care of them, or two, give them access. By you dating them in the proximity of wealthy people come with power to get you this and power to get you that. But you also have credibility, and that's what's the problem with Russell Simmons. He has no credibility, so he can't get his own daughter work. That's the problem. Here, this man created a fashion, empire, which was baby fat at the time. And then he gave it to Kimora Lee Simmons. Like what? What did he give it to her for? She didn't know how to run a business. I'm just saying, because she ran it into the ground. That's what I'm saying. She never really did anything with it. So, remember Drew Dixon? There was the documentary that she did. Oh, God, was it? I forgot the name of the documentary, but I loved it. And I actually reached out to her and, told her how I think it's so important that she spoke up. You know what I'm saying? She's been speaking up about Russell Simmons for a long time now. And there have been other women who have also come forward after the movie came out, and they had a little get together, and they talked about this a little later on. I think it was a year after the documentary. So there's several women. There's about 5-6 women that came out. They may have not all filed suits. I think it was Drew Dixon that filed the original suit. And now she is suing him for defamation. So how do you serve him in Bali? Because defamation is a civil situation. It's not criminal. So they can't extradite him. This is why he's in Bali. Bali does not extradite anybody. So he can hide there for all he wants. And remember last year he came into town for about, a week? To promote a couple of businesses, and then he was right back on that plane. That's gonna be Diddy in a minute. It's gonna be Diddy in a minute. Yeah. He's putting on a brave face right now, like I said, with that PR, but it's not gonna work, boo-boo. It is not gonna work. Okay, it's only a matter of time. You know what I mean? So Dixon is suing Simmons after he called her a liar and stated her accusations of sexual assault were attempt for fame. The comments from the Def Jam mogul are said to have damaged Dixon's professional career, and I absolutely think so too. I mean, although at this time of day, no, right? Back then, though. Is this about back then, or when he came over here, and then when he did the interview? Remember he did that interview? Who did he do the interview with? Oh God, I forgot who he did the interview with. He sat down and he was, I think it was a British guy, and he sat down and he was saying, this is ridiculous. This lawsuit is. He was nasty about it. It was really nasty. He's really a nasty man. He's a very nasty man with a nasty attitude. And that's why the kids are a mess. You know what I'm saying? The wife is a mess. The whole life is a mess. That family is a mess. There's nothing normal going on in that household, in anyone's household, in the Russell family, in the Simmons family. Simmons received a lawsuit from a process server named Daniel. Why you gotta name him for? His whole name. I'm not saying his name. 12:30 local time. It says Daniel bypassed security by stating that he was interested in the resort, hanging out for an hour and spotting Simmons at a restaurant. Ooh, that's smart. Yeah, you know what I mean? They don't know you from Adam. This is a nice guy. Oh, okay. Oh, you're interested? Come on in the resort. So, hang out for a little bit. Tell me if you like it. You want to be a part of it? Hey, come to my office. We'll work out a deal. You know what I mean? You get the membership coming your own way. Shout out to Palm Royale. Have you seen Palm Royale? That's what that's about. You know what I mean? And she's a woman of a certain stature and class, and she's trying to get into a high-class situation. And shout out to Ricky Martin over there, too. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Porn Royale. You got to check it out. It's on Apple Plus. Okay. And so I like that. He's sitting back. He's just looking and stuff. Like, what's going on? Oh, here comes Russell's. Simmons as usual. He says, I recognize him as the person named in the service papers as Russell Simmons is a well-known celebrity and widely known in Bali, Indonesia, as well as in the United States and other places, that Daniel said. He said, once Simmons was seated, he approached him and he said, excuse me, Mr. Simmons, sorry to interrupt your meeting. I then handed Simmons the service documents in the envelope and said, this is for you. The minute he takes it, he's served. He knew it. And that's what he said. He said, alerting Simmons that he had been served from New York State, recalls Simmons dropping the paperwork and responding, effing snit. You know what I mean? Oh. So he's pissed now that here he is in Bali and you still got to deal with defamation case. Well, guess what that means? It means you got to come into court. Does he have to come into court for defamation suit? No, right? I mean, if he wants to put on any defense, he might have to come in. You know what I mean? But if he comes in, guess what happens? Oh, this time they're going to be waiting for him at the airport. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who knows? Because they haven't filed anything yet. Although there is a lawsuit that came out last year. Remember when we had the end of the year thing where all these sexual assaults were coming out, cases, Diddy, Eric Adams, all these people with, these sexual assault situations. Well, there is a woman, an unidentified woman, that states that Simmons invited her to his home as a music video, leading to a playful attempt of wrestling turned aggressive behavior and rape. The document says that Mrs. Doe repeatedly told Simmons to get off of her, but he refused. Following the incident, the woman stated that Simmons would intimidate her in the office and when he visited her desk, and eventually leading to her having panic attacks. The woman is seeking monetary damage as a result of a trial. So basically, the lawsuit was filed in the New York City federal court under the New York Adult Survivors Act, revealing that a woman worked at Simmons as an executive and a video producer. Doe's relationship with Simmons was professional and turned violent, impacting her financial viability. Now that case is just released, and here, shout out to Dixon. Oh, Drew, thank you. Because now here we go. Here's the plan. You sue him. He's got to show up for court, else he's going to lose. And then when he loses, well, then he has to show up. And if he shows up, he's got a case to answer. I'm sure the NYPD, would love to pick somebody up that Russell Simmons looked like. He's got no power. This is why he ran over to Bali. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Mr. Russell Simmons. You got served. What a way to go, buddy. What a way to go. Download the Real You Radio app, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. Check out full episodes of Raw and Uncut, Monday through Friday, 7 to 11, live streaming on Real You Radio. Or hit the link in the bio to download the Real You Radio app. Comment, subscribe, and thanks for listening to Raw and Uncut on Real You Radio, the Urban Sound of Pride.